Hello, my name is Emily Morales. Welcome to my OChem Bridge class. It is used on the Learning Management System Blackboard, and it is meant for online delivery versus face-to-face. So if you take a look here at the course overview, I give the students a welcome. There is a course description, and they are provided some information regarding the textbook and materials. Students for this course are required to pick up the organic chemistry text by Joel Carty, along with his study guide and solutions manual. And they also, for this theoretical course, would need to pick up a molecular modeling kit as well. There's the course learning outcomes and an opportunity for them to print out a week at a glance. So they can click on this link here and they're able to see they're able to take a look at the course and have an idea, for every respective week, what is required of them. If you go back, there is also an OChem Bridge syllabus and some contact information for me. Over here on the left side of the screen, note the panel here. Students can click on any one of these links here and have access to, any assets for the course. Usually when students come into the course for the first time, they are always brought to the announcements page. I put together 3 modules for the course. Each one takes 2 weeks to complete. When a student clicks on, as I mentioned, they go to the announcements page, and there's kind of a welcome email there to introduce them to the module for the week, give them an idea of what it is they're going to have to be doing, and sometimes there's links there as well. So there's my announcements. Students would navigate in each one of these learning modules, and I tried to set up the course so that if they clicked on Module 1, for example, then every single thing they would need would be here on Module 1. They would have no reasons to ever have to click on any of these things on the left-hand side. Just everything that they would need is on Module 1. So for every one of the modules, I would give them a module overview. They would have an idea as to the learning goals, some definitions, a little bit of instruction in the module, some student learning outcomes, and of course assigned readings and lectures. And each one of the modules, I do provide quite a few materials with respect to screencasts, and these are my own. Oftentimes I will pull in outside sources if I feel that they would be helpful. Since online students really do suffer with feeling isolated at times, and that can be very discouraging, I've made sure that we put up what's called the Muddiest Problem discussion board. And in this discussion board, students would have to upload a question that would generate discussion between all members at least once a week. And I'd hope that in doing this, that students would open up a dialogue with one another and maybe facilitate some discussion and some sense of community between them. And as I mentioned, within this module is everything that they would need to submit work, everything they would need to download, all of that. So let's turn our attention back over to here now. If we go to the tests and quizzes, what students would do with these is, their worksheets. Well, let me back up a little bit. If they go into their actual chapter worksheets, there's some links here. Students would download these chapter worksheets, and it would be required by them to answer all of these, and then to scan these and go ahead and upload them in a PDF format using, for example, the Fast Scanner app from their phone. But when it came to assessments, I really preferred that students actually did their assessments online. So I put together several quizzes and tests for them. And here's an example of what an assessment might look like. So here's the questions here. Here the student has 60 minutes to answer every one of these, and for my course I only gave them 2 chances, and I would accept the highest score. So if you take a look at question 1, with increasing shell number, the size and energy of the atomic orbital decreases, and I put a point system next to each one of these, And the student would go ahead and click on that, and they could go ahead and save the answer, and that way they wouldn't have to worry about saving it later. Carbon, like silicon, can bind with up to 4 other atoms, but is better as a backbone element because the bonds it forms with other atoms are longer in length. And the student would have to take a look at that and assess whether they think that's true or false. So there are true or false questions. There were also some multiple choice questions. This particular quiz only had true and false. So here I'm going to go ahead and submit the quiz. And then it would go ahead and give me some feedback on it. So that was for the quizzes. And then, you know, like I said, if students clicked on the learning modules, everything they need is on those learning modules. But in the event they didn't want to have to scroll through all the information on the learning module just to gain access to a discussion board, then they could just click on the discussion board, and all the discussion boards they would need would be right there, as well as laboratories at home. So it was important that we embedded a laboratory component into the course, and every one of the modules does have a laboratory. And what students would do with the laboratories is they would, again, print out these worksheets at home, and they would fill them out. And in some cases, I would accept just a scanned document of their work, and in other cases, I wanted them to send me images of them holding the models. So it just depended on the assignment. And that is about it. Going back to the course overview. Thank you for taking the time to take a look at my course, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.